Hello, and thank you, Jody, for sending me just one more watch, as in this lovely Spinnaker you sent out to me. As a little thank you for you, well, I would dump this horrible Australian Scottish accent and do a little homage, since I think homages are something you have done, you. So, without further ado, I'd like to show you a state of my collection. But, as a proper homage, we have to do our checklist. Clock on the wall, check. Printed t-shirt, check. Pants. Are we wearing pants, Jody? I don't know. And of course, watches. That we have. And I'd like to start off with the one that you sent me, the Spinnaker. And let's do a little sort of unboxing of this guy here. And it's this beautiful compressor Spinnaker. I have a few watches to show you, so I'm not going to get into depth with this, as you've also done a video of it. And surprise, surprise, they sent this to me on the beautiful bracelet. Couple moans and niggles, I will, right off the bat, is this is the first compressor watch I've owned. And as you mentioned, you spin the bezel, unidirectional bezel inside with this wheel here. But it would be lovely if it had a screw down to it, because I can see this easily moving, and if you're trying to time something, you know, it's kind of important to keep it where you need it to be. Other than that, beautiful watch, and I can't thank you enough. Moving on to my collection, as all collections kind of start off with, I think, would be a watch that a relative, in this case my father, has left to me. And as him being not here anymore, it's nice to have something to remember him by. And I will start off and end my state of the collection with two pieces that he has left to me. With the first watch being a German brand that I've never even heard of before nor seen before. It's Spritzer Furlman. So this is a Spritzer Furlman. It's a manual wind watch. I've had this thing completely restored. It really didn't have a unique patina on it. It actually had a metal dial, and I've had it painted to something more of my liking, but they did it at an incredible detail to it. I love this watch. I used to wear it more than I do, but it being a dress watch, I don't get a lot of occasions to wear it. Also, I really would hate to have anything happen to this, so it's more of a piece that I just keep in my collection as a memory, and I do wear it occasionally. I would want to get a better strap for this, as that's the only thing really letting this down, and I think I will this time this year. And just a quick little wrist shot for you. Very beautiful, thin watch, 18 karat gold case, and I really, really do like having this. This kind of started off my collection and love of watches. An Omega being one of my favorite brands, as you will see. Starting off with a quartz Constellation. Kind of rare, you don't see all the time. And again, the size of the watch being 38, not a little small for my 7-inch wrist as well, but just a beautiful watch anyway. Very dressy watch. Again, like my father's watch, don't get a lot of occasions to wear this, and as you can see, the battery has even expired and needs replaced. Going on to another watch that is a dire need of service. I know I've really neglected some of my pieces, and bad watch owner to me, smack, is my Omega Speedmaster chronograph. This is in the rare titanium case, which makes this big honkin' dive watch very light and wearable. I do have the titanium band for this, but currently I have it on the silicone blue Planet Ocean strap, and I think it looks quite sharp. Do get a lot of wrist time on this watch. Now, moving on to another brand that I've had a lot of love to, that I don't think gets enough love as it deserves, is Tag Heuer. This was almost like a grail watch of mine in my 20s, and really had to have this one, and as just a gorgeous, beautiful watch, is the Tag Heuer Monza automatic chronograph with the white dial. White dial seems to be a little bit rarer in this watch, as you see black more common. This did come with a brown strap that had a clasp buckle on it. and I've just changed it out probably about a couple of years ago to this red band, and I get a lot of compliments on it. I really do kind of like the red. Do have the brown strap as well, and again on the wrist, as you can see here, a little chunky, not going over all the specs and features on it, but at a 39 fits my wrist pretty well. Again, moving on to another Tag Heuer of mine, and you know, sometimes deals come along, might not be exactly what you even intended on buying, but sometimes you just have to pick up watches as they come. This is the case on this one. This is a Tag Heuer Aqua Racer automatic chronograph. Again, little wrist shot for you. And it's with a two-tone case on it, not the band. Not even know if this is the original band or if this was put on after. But again, very nice automatic chronograph from a great brand, Tag Heuer. Again, does not get enough love. One unique thing about this watch is it has the Cyclops underneath the crystal. I don't know if you can see that there, but kind of a unique touch. Again, 38, 39 millimeters. Just looks great on my 7-inch wrist. Thank God the oversized watch trend has kind of died down. Even though you might kind of guilty on some of the other pieces you will see later on in the collection here. Which, going on to one of them, which is, of course, the Seiko XKS. Or S. How dare I mess this up. The Seiko SKX. Rest in peace, will it? So this is also heavily modified. I thought I'd have fun with it. So this is my SKX, and it's heavily modified with the new bezel, green bezel put on it, green chapter ring put on it, mother of pearl dial put on it, changed out to the green hands. I just had a lot of fun with this watch, just to play around with it, not be every other SKX out on the market, especially being with this really nice leather NATO strap, which I've strung up to be wearable. Again, I must thank you, Jody, for bringing your, Chinese specials, as you say, into everyone's collection, or at least to our attention. And one which is hard to pass up was that Pagani design Flight, which was their high beat quartz movement, and I picked one up. As you can see, I put it on a Milanese strap, and this is a little bigger, being about 43 millimeters, but still doesn't look too bad on my wrist. It does wear a little large, being it has no bezel, almost like a pilot's watch, which I'm guessing they called it the Flight for that reason. But one thing I have noticed, and if you have yours in your collection, check the time on it. This is not as accurate as I really expect a lot of quartz movements to be, and has been off a little bit. Don't know if it's just this one or not, but would love to hear any comments. Moving on to another bigger watch, even though I'm not a big watch guy, but again, Thule watches. Another watch that doesn't get enough love, I feel, is the Luminox. The Luminox. It was called the Navy SEAL watch, even though the Navy SEAL really doesn't issue specific watches to their SEALs. But they licensed the Navy SEALs, or I don't know how it works, but this was it, and this is the chronograph. But one thing, it has the tritium, or I know I'm going to mess that up. Tritium, the tritium tubes in there, and you have lume for decades, which is nice. Nothing super bright, but always legible, especially in a dark environment. And you being a lume lover, feel you should check these watches out. Again, quartz chronograph. It's made out of this polycarbonate case too, so it's actually really light. This has got a lot of wear on my wrist, doing all sorts of activities, cycling and swimming and surfing and you name it. The bands, though, that they come with are not the greatest and will deteriorate after a while, but on this lovely blue NATO strap, I think it goes quite well with the watch. One other cool thing, it did come in a bunch of colorways, so green, yellow, orange, blue, whatever you like. they had a series of these out there like that, and I thought that was kind of cool to do. Of course, what collection wouldn't be complete without a G-Shock, and this is my G-Lide Panda. No need to go into this watch. We all know, I think we all know what this is, and how could you just not have one? Big, chunky, almost toy-like thing on it, but really will take anything you dish at it, and that's why I love it. Anyway, I have one more Omega to share with you, as it didn't make the other group with the Omegas, but didn't want to leave this out. And this is my Omega Speedmaster, again, automatic chronograph. And a beautiful 39 millimeter, fits my wrist perfectly. Might even be a little small. 40 would be, I think, the sweet spot on this. But one thing I did like about this is it had the date on it too, which is nice. Kind of a poor man's Rolex Daytona, but and the only other niggle I would have about it is bring up the little pictures of the kittens for you, as you can really hear the rotor on this one, probably more than any of my other automatic watches. But just look, beautiful, stunning watch, can be worn as a dress watch, can be worn as a sport watch. This also came with a stainless steel band, which I do have, but just thought I would dress it up a little bit with this black croc print leather strap with the buckle on it. That leads me to the piece de resistance of my collection, and a watch I could never ever imagine parting with for a million years. And the prices have just gone up on this. I couldn't even afford it if I could. And this fortunately was left to me by my father, and this was the 1970 Rolex Submariner Ghost Dial red printed sub. It really doesn't get better than this. In addition to the family tie to it, it is just a watch that would be my dream watch anyway. Wears beautiful, the classic essential Rolex Submariner with the hi-hat polycrystal with the ghost dial, there's a beautiful patina on it, and being my father's just has just even more meaning to it. Just a beautiful watch. The only complaint I can have about this watch is I'm a little afraid wearing it. I don't want it to get banged up or broken or anything like that, and otherwise I would wear this watch every single day. But sadly to say, because of the sentimental and monetary value of this watch, it does not get enough wrist time. But anyway, thank you, Jody, again for sending me the Spinnaker watch, and I hope you enjoyed this. And if you want to share this to your viewers, feel free to do it. We'll get a kick out of that too. Again, thank you, Jody, and take care, and keep up the great work. Goodbye.